So in this video, I am going to discuss why the production cuts are seen by many as OPEC plus siding with the Russian state, siding with the Kremlin. So the reason for this, a little bit of background of what's going on. So earlier this year, the Kremlin decided to invade the state of Ukraine. Many internationally have condemned this and seen this as an illegal act, rightfully so. This has not been as condemned throughout the Gulf, which the Gulf countries, including Saudi Arabia, the Emiratis, they have remained silent on this. And you have to keep in mind, Russia is a member of OPEC plus. Russia also is one of the biggest hydrocarbon energy exporters in the world stage. They get a lot of their revenue from oil. I believe former deceased politician John McCain called Russia the world's gas station. So they make a lot of money from oil, but they've been kind of losing out a little bit. So one of the biggest energy consumers of Russian oil has been the EU over the years. Particularly Angela Merkel really helped to develop a relationship where Europe would get cheap, reliable energy from Russia. But this relationship has been changing, particularly as not only Russia has decided to weaponize energy and cut off a lot of energy exports to the European Union, but starting in December, the European Union is voluntarily pretty much nixing most imports of Russian oil as a means of trying to starve off revenue going to the Kremlin, as the Kremlin needs this revenue to continue their occupation of Ukraine, right? It's very costly. It costs a lot of cash per day. So the Europe and then their partners in the United States, they've been trying to determine how can we go about cutting off revenue to Russia without not only exacerbating energy price spiraling out of control into the stratosphere, as Europe is currently in an energy crisis due to the fact that they can't access energy from their traditional energy supplier. Additionally, I mean, just you have global inflation anyway. There's already shortages, and they're terrified of potential blackouts. So they're trying to figure out a way to starve revenue to the Kremlin without exacerbating blackouts and increasing inflation and all this stuff. So the production cuts by OPEC, essentially, that makes the price per barrel oil more expensive, as it puts less barrels of oil out there on the global energy markets. So it makes them more in demand. So even despite the fact that the EU is not buying nearly as much, if any, Russian oil come December, the fact that there's going to be less barrels of oil on the energy markets means that what Russia can sell to other countries will be at excessively higher prices. So they're even selling less, they could very well end up making more money, which is outraging not only Brussels, but then Washington, as again, they're trying to starve the Kremlin of revenue. They don't want the Kremlin to succeed in its invasion of Ukraine. So they're seeing OPEC plus as which their cuts purposely raise global oil prices. So they're seeing it as siding with Russia, as it's going to put more money into the Kremlin's coffers by its decision. That's just a matter of fact.